And welcome to the New Who Review. We're back for 2015 and just in time for Doctor Who Series 9. I'm joined by my co-host Charles.
Hello.
Right, so Series 9 is under 24 hours away. So, yeah, finally, the long wait is over. Yeah, it's
in 2 years.
Yeah, it's been a really long wait. We've had all sorts of news. Series 10, obviously the news about that. It's been a hell of a wait. And we've got some big news today as well about Jenna Coleman leaving.
Yes, we did. Yeah, I'm sorry to see her go, but I think her time at the TARDIS has come up.
Yeah, I think she's reached the end of her time there, definitely. And I'll be excited to see who the next companion is. So
yeah, I would say to Stephen Moffat, if he's listening, I'm available.
I'm available too. I mean, it would be a dream.
There you go. We're both ready to go.
Yeah. So,
but who knows who it could be. Hopefully, I'd like to see maybe. I don't know. What would you see for a companion? Would you like to see a male companion this time around?
I'd like to see a male companion this time around, or a female that's closer to Peter's age, maybe in their mid to late 40s, early 50s. You know, someone that can contrast well with his age. You know, because there'll be a different dynamic if
absolutely,
if we get someone close to his age. So yeah, I'd rather see that, to be honest.
I agree with that. I think someone, not as young as Jenna. I mean, Jenna's not super young, but she's not close to Capaldi's age either. So
yeah, and so yeah, this is her last series. Don't have a clue when she's leaving. They haven't actually specifically said that she's leaving in the finale either. So she could.
No, but
she could leave
in her interview, in the BBC One radio interview, she said she just filmed her exit scene. So I'm guessing that means Christmas.
Yeah, it could do. Yeah.
So it seems like what they've been doing lately, unfortunately, is anybody leaving the show, they leave at Christmas time.
Yeah.
So whether it be that good or bad, Christmas shouldn't really be the time for someone to leave, but it is a good time to get someone new in.
Like with a song.
Well, I wouldn't mind that.
I don't want to see River as a companion, but unfortunately, if she's in Christmas, she's been confirmed. It's looking maybe a bit likely that we'll see her.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about a permanent companion, but from time to time, if they keep her on as a character.
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out at Christmas what they have planned for her.
Yeah, that'll be exciting to see. Especially because now it's a new Doctor with Peter Capaldi and it's no longer Matt Smith. So it'll be a completely different relationship between the two of them.
Yes.
So,
but 24 hours.
Yeah, 24 hours to go. Yeah.
Before Magician's Apprentice. What are our expectations on the Magician's Apprentice?
My expectations on the Magician's Apprentice is that it is as big and as epic as everyone is making it out to be. At least because obviously, I think now they've had 3 screenings. They had one in New York day before yesterday, I believe, and then they had 2 in England over the past few weeks. So it's there's a lot of thoughts and feelings of the episode already out there. and they all seem to share the thought that it feels a bit like a finale. So I'm kind of hoping that it's not too big and too ambitious. That it keeps true to the story, and that it just produces, something that's watchable, something that you can follow. Nothing too confusing to kick the series off.
Right. I mean, it does work its way into the next episode, though, which is familiar.
Yeah.
So having it seem like a finale, I don't know if that means, then it just because it leads into the next episode, but that's what way it sounds maybe to me. Oh, it's a finale, but works its way into that next episode.
Yeah.
To get you excited for that next episode.
Well, exactly. I mean, they've always been talking about the cliffhanger of that particular episode as well as episode 11. So
yes,
we'll see what that cliffhanger is tomorrow. What do you expect it to be?
I have been trying so hard not to read too much into what other people have seen and from the screenings or whatever the spoiler guys are trying to put out there about it. But as anything with Doctor Who, I'm looking for a solid episode. I want it to be epic, but not so epic that it's takes over the whole series, like where you say, well, that first episode was good, but everything kind of else went downhill. I want it all to be kind of on the same par. So I don't want it to be too epic, but I want it to be good. As long as it's good, I'm happy. So
yeah, exactly. And we've got a brilliant cast in that first episode. We've got obviously Peter and Jenna. Michelle is coming back as Missy. Bars who was in the prequel, which was a very good prequel actually. Have you seen that yet? The Doctor's Meditation.
I did see that. That was a wonderful prequel. Very, very funny, but very, very good.
Yeah, it was a nice comedic. It was very comedic. I think that was the main aspect of the entire prequel. It was supposed to be funny. It was presenting Peter in a new light. You obviously have Bars, who it was a very, very likable character in my opinion, and I hope that we see more of him.
Yeah. What other programs has he been in before?
Wow. I have no clue. I've never heard of the actor until
okay.
Until I saw him announced in his character and stuff, and then saw him in the prequel. So,
all right, I wasn't sure if he was from another series or, maybe I don't know, like through ITV or another on BBC. But I mean, from the looks of him, I mean he's got that what do they call that area there? That like early English look, where he's kind of like out of a like Highlander or something, where he's got the
yeah.
So
he's got.
I thought he looked good.
Sorry.
I thought he looked good, and the part I think he'll play is going to be good.
Yeah. I mean, we got the prologue as well, which at first I think it was a bit difficult for Americans to watch because obviously it was only released in the UK for a couple of hours, and then obviously it came out in America. What did you think of that and the reappearance of Khan?
Interesting, because that from when we first saw the trailer, everyone had thought maybe that was a part of Skaro, and only to come find out it is Karn. And I don't know if the one guy is going to be part of that Karn, with where he's got the sliced faces there. I know there's been some speculation on him being a Morbius type character or Morbius himself.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so I think that kind of dispelled a little bit of that, thinking everyone's kind of thinking Scarro. I mean, we still could get Scarro. Don't get me wrong there, but that certain section of the trailer they kind of pushed that out and saying, okay, that's not going to be Scarro. That's Karn, and he's going back to Karn at some point in the series, not just maybe the prologue.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it's looking that we are getting Scarra because obviously in the Magician's Apprentice and the Witch's Familiar, we see the Daleks return. Rather worryingly, actually, because the last time we had a Dalek opener, it wasn't exactly the greatest episode ever. Actually, it was probably one of the worst, in my opinion, with Asylum of the
Right.
Daleks. What are your thoughts on the Daleks coming back so early in the series?
Well, I think you hit it right there, having them early in the series. Well, they were early in the series last year, but it was like the second or third episode there with Inside the Dalek.
Yeah,
Not as heavy with the Daleks because it was only the one, and then a couple towards the end. But um, it, I don't think we're ever going to get rid of the Daleks being heavy in the series. Not that one off anymore. They're going to be that heavy that you want for the Doctor. But being early in the season, you know, might hopefully it won't be too bad. I want them to be, I want them to be the villain, but I don't want them to be you know, I don't want them to be jam packed in a whole thing. I like that single Dalek, couple here, couple there, not like we had like at Parting of Ways where it was the whole armada.
yeah, yeah. And then we've obviously got the rumours of Davros returning.
Right,
Obviously,
right.
we haven't seen anything of him or anything to indicate that he's in the episode, or the episodes, I should say. What are your thoughts on
No,
the
but yeah,
rumours?
we've talked about that before. I said, last year when we got that promo for the season, that whole Dalek speech, everyone said, "Oh, that's got to be Davros. It sounds like Davros." Everyone was high up on it being Davros, and he didn't show up. He didn't show up to the party. So then everyone hopes it's for this year. I hope so. I'd like to see Davros back. He's probably one of my favorite villains from the series. So
Yeah, I think it'd be exciting to see Davros as well, especially in a setting like that, where it could be Skara, with the Daleks from every era. Yeah, actually, what's your thoughts on that? Seeing it's a bit of a rehash of Asylum, but hopefully it's they're put to better use.
yeah, I wasn't sure on that because you see the Emperor, right? The red one would be the Emperor, right?
That's a Supreme Dalek, yeah.
Supreme Dalek. There we go. Um, it's I don't know how worried I would be about it, but because the way Asylum went, so I don't know. I'm all right with it, but I'll hold reservation until after the episode.
Yeah, I think all we can really ask for them is that they do some talking, they do some moving around, and even better if they exterminate a few people.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
that's all we can really ask for after Asylum. But we'll see. You never know with
Yeah.
Moffat.
True. True. Now I'll correct me if I'm wrong. They did do some exterminating and Into the Dalek.
Yes, they did. Yeah,
So,
they
so
did it.
they brought that back a little bit last year.
Yeah, it's a tiny bit. Yeah, it's a gradual comeback of the extermination.
Yeah, I know that's been a little bit of a grudge on people. That it's, the Daleks have come back all these times, but they really haven't killed anybody. There really hasn't been that much killing in Doctor Who anymore. Kind of get back to that. And I agree with that. Because if the Daleks are going to be your antagonist, they got to have if they're not going to kill anybody, what's the big deal?
Yeah,
You know?
And moving away from the opener, um, obviously we now have all the episode titles, and we have hints towards what the episodes are about, and stuff like that. And we've seen the trailers.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts on the series as a whole from what you've seen? And is there anything that you're particularly looking forward to?
There's nothing really I can pinpoint. I mean, all the episodes sound good, even because of the hints and stuff we've gotten and all that. Um, I'm interested to see where it's going to lead to. I mean, if they have this overall arc like I think they're going to have, I'm interested to see where that goes.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot more imagination in this series, in my opinion. Like we've got Maisie Williams in it. She's probably the main guest star that everyone is talking about. We've got ghosts. We've got obviously the Daleks. We've got dragons. We've got Vikings. More robots. That can be a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah, but I
Zach,
know one episode. I guess it's going to be like they. I don't know if you've heard anything other, but the one episode they've said that another previous enemy is coming back. I don't think we've heard about that too much, have we? I mean, aside from the Zygons, I know the Zygons are coming back.
yeah,
I thought it
aside
was
from
another
that,
episode.
yeah, I haven't heard anything about any particular returning villains in terms of like the classics or earlier New Who. So far, apart from the Zygons, but I'm sure we'll soon find out at whatever point in the series that is.
Yeah.
So, talking specifically about, I know it's a bit of a over talked about topic now. Maisie Williams' character. Who do you think she is? If she is anybody, I mean, she could be a new character.
I'm hoping. You know, I'm not sick. Seems like every time you turn around, someone's got to be somebody in
Yeah,
this series. You know, oh, he could be River Song. She could be whatever. Um, my guess would be a younger Missy character.
I would
Um,
like to see that. Yeah,
where she is Missy at an earlier part of that regeneration. Who knows? Um, but like I said, I would much rather have a newer character for her than a rehashing of one we've already had.
yeah, yeah. I agree with that. I think maybe a new character. If she is a returning character, particularly if she is Susan, I'll be more than happy with her being Susan. But if she's a new character, then it is what it is, and I'm sure she'll be great as that character. It doesn't
Yeah,
always have to be somebody else. As a new returning person. It's just a new character, and that's fine.
yeah. You brought up Susan. I don't know if I'd want someone else to come in and play that character for the sheer fact of you know we've already had that character, but she's more iconic than having someone come in and play her again and trying to renew that character.
Yeah, yeah. It's all about really. I mean, people growing up with the classics, so probably think the same as you, where they don't really want someone to you know reintroduce that character in a different with a different actress. But we'll
Yeah,
see. We'll see what way they go
it,
with that.
yeah. I mean, the only character like that, like the Master, or even the Ronnie,
Yeah,
you know, those ones can be changed. Susan was never. It was never clarified whether or not she was uh, a Time Lord or not, because it was so early in that run. They hadn't really developed that part of it yet. So, I mean, I know Big Finish has gone on to say, yes, she was part of that race, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think
Carol Ann Ford, just that's the picture you get when you think of that character. Kind of
yeah,
like when some Americans think of Doctor Who, they think of Tom Baker. You get that picture in your head of what you see that character as or played by.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. It's. I think it also depends about like I said, what kind of time you were born and what time you started to follow Doctor Who.
Yes.
It'll probably be far more prominent for the classic fans, the people that grew up during the classic era, and followed that the way through. So yeah, what do you think about the two-parters then? Because we seem to have a bit of an overdose on two-parters. I think we have 4 two-parters this series.
Yeah, I'm glad they have two-parters. We've had times when we've had episodes where a lot of people have said, it should have been made into a two-parter. You cram so much into that one 45 or 50-minute episode. You could have taken your time and done 2 episodes and spread it out more. So, having the two-parters is good. Too many? I think we got 3 two-parters, correct?
4.
4.
Yeah.
So, now, they're trying to appease everyone all at once, maybe, and maybe they've done too much. I guess we'll see how that goes, because we might see the first episode. You definitely needed that as a two-parter, and there might be some that you say you could have cut that down and had it only been one episode.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the benefit of a two-parter is that we get a cliffhanger, and that seems to be what they're really trying to focus on this year, which is interesting. The concept of a cliffhanger and having something that can keep us waiting, that in suspense for the next week. It's really going back to classic Who, which is great, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah, but even when you're trying to make it serialized like that, we've had it where we've had that. I'll consider it a cliffhanger. Where at the end, we got that clip of Missy doing something at the very end of the episode, and that kind of gets you talking about what the next episode, whether or not she's going to be in that next episode. So
Yeah, that's sorry.
No, there's that. I mean, we've had that kind of whether or not not the classic cliffhanger where the doctor is or a companion is being come down on upon by the whatever villain of that episode is, or what have you, where they're in trouble, and we haven't had that, no, but I mean those are kind of the cliffhangers we get, or you get what's coming up next with that character. Why is that person there?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like you said, with that Missy thing, it was something that kind of linked all the episodes together that she was in, particularly. I think she was in at least 3 or 4 before she appeared in the finale. So
Yeah.
there was a long period of time halfway through the series, I remember, where she didn't appear for a few weeks. So it kept us wondering about where her character had got to, what she was doing, what's going to happen next with her, So it was really well played out. Was that whole thing with just those little scenes in last year's episodes?
Right.
Yeah. So what are you hoping to see with Peter this year, actually? But because as we know, it's kind of like second series syndrome, where they're far more comfortable in the role. They're trying out new things. There's some distinct differences with the character. We saw some with Matt. We saw some with David. So what are you hoping to see in Peter this time around?
I guess the same as everybody. I guess trying to see him where everyone sees him as that role. A lot of people. It took a while. We're now we know what he's gonna be, but if they start changing it up too much, where he's like Matt Smith, but
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think from the prequel, The Doctor's Meditation, we kind of saw a 12th Doctor that was a slightly more relaxed. He was, you know,
he yeah he had both. He had both elements there, where he was, you know, comedic and funny, yet still had that gruff attitude about him.
yeah, which I think worked really well with last year. You know, the tone of the series last year, and you know his acting skills and his Doctor. I just think, you know, I don't want them to overcompensate on the lighter side of his Doctor. You know, the more comedic, funny, you know, joyful kind of Doctor. I'd like to see that rough, you know, grumpier side of the first four Doctors. Actually, kind of find a way back into his Doctor far more prominently maybe than last year. But we'll see. We'll see where they go
Yeah.
with his character.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, apart from that, overall, are you excited for this series?
No, I'm very excited for this series. Whether or not no matter what becomes of it, I'll always be for who.
Yeah.
Capaldi has been great. I'm looking forward to continue that right into the season. And you know, as far as Jenna, like I said in the beginning, you know, I've loved her as long as she's been on. You know, her time has come, so we'll look forward to seeing who takes that torch as a companion run.
Yeah, I agree. I'm really excited for this series. You know, I think it's going to be great. It looks great from the trailers. You know, Jenna, her time obviously has come to an end. I'd like to see how she leaves. You know, the circumstances behind that. You know, who the next companion is. More importantly, you know what the story arc is and what happens at the end of the series, whether he finds Gallifrey or anything like that. I think you know it's a very exciting year, and it's definitely a very exciting series. What they've got planned out for us, so I'm sure we'll be enjoying the next 12 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think we'll end it there because we don't really have anything more to talk about. Thank you, Charles, for joining.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Connor.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care.
Take care, everybody.